Sir, I want to ask, is it proper that after marriage, the man pack his things and stay with the woman?
Let's assume that before you get married, right? Let's say the lady lives in a one-bedroom flat, room and parlor. Take for example, say federal housing. Let's say the guy also lives in a room and parlor. Let's say an Antigua. No. Just get the point. There might be nothing, an Antigua. Now, both of them would like to move to this part of town. Now, this lady already has this house. He has that one. There's no problem with whether she moves there or he moves here. But they're looking for a house where she's already living. To satisfy the general opinion, should they pack out of that house that she's already living in and begin to look for another house just so that we can say that he didn't pack into the woman's house? Do you get the point? Now, so there are no hard and fast rules concerning this thing. If the house they're looking for is where the lady is already living, and if the man has what it takes to take care of the rent and all, there's nothing wrong if he moves and begins to live there. There's nothing wrong with it. Do you get the point? There's nothing wrong with it in that kind of situation. But if you ask me that a man who lives in a family house and gets married, and then the woman he's married to moves into the family house, and they're occupying one room, and she's there with her father-in-law, mother-in-law, and brethren-in-law. So, sincerely, if that's the situation, if they are going to move into the woman's house because she's in a good part of town, and then they can renew the rent, maybe the rent is good, the location is good, the house is nice, I don't think that they need to necessarily pack out from there and look for another house within that same neighborhood just to prove a point. It doesn't mean anything if that house is good enough. If that house is good enough, unless there's another reason why. But sincerely, if it's for that, I don't think there is anything wrong with it. Question: what if the woman built a house before they got married? That is my question. And this guy has been renting. Now, the fact that she has built a house does not suggest that she's better than him. But the big question is, should he leave his house and come and live in this house that she has built, which is comfy and just okay, or should she pack out, put it out on rent just to prove a point, and come and live with him in a rented house? You judge for yourself. Now listen to me. Marriage is not a competition between husband and wife. It's not a competition. It's not. Did your vows not say all that I have is thine and all that you have is mine? So, and sincerely, I think some problems come when people have ego issues. If God has blessed my wife with a nice house, unless it's not in the part of town where I want to live, and I will insist, I'll rent in the part of town where I want to live, and we can give out that one on rentage if it's not in the part of town where I want to live. But if it's in the part of town where I want to live, just because they'll say, oh, you're living in your wife's house, what does that matter to me? Hey, look, kill ego or else you won't enjoy your marriage. Are you telling me that your wife now, for example, cannot get an appointment with the federal government? She has been appointed Minister of State for Petroleum. Bro, I'll say this is the Lord's doing. It is marvelous in our sight. I'll ask her, when are you moving to Abuja? If it's for flying back and forth, amen, that is not a problem. It's not a problem, especially unless God is not in it. If God is not in it, it's not going to happen. So, but I mean, don't have self-esteem issues. It will be difficult for you to appreciate what God is doing in your wife's life. Wherever it comes from, whether it's from the husband or from the wife, is a blessing to the family. The family is the recipient. So if her head is correct, and if your own head is correct, enjoy however the blessing comes. No competition of, it's my wife's thing. No, how can I inside? Okay, your wife had a car before you got married. You didn't have. You are not going to drive the car. Let us sell it so that I can buy another one in my name. Bro, enjoy the car. It looks like some of you have some people who have things. Amen. Now, let me strike my balance. And the idea here is you're not a gold digger. You're not an opportunist who is lazy doing nothing and just wanting to leverage on what your wife has. Do you get the point? So you're not that kind of person. So you're not this lazy fellow who stays at home. You just take her car around town. Even the owner of the car who goes to work and brings the money, enters taxi. While you drive, she fuels the car and you just drive it around. That's irresponsibility. That's not what we're talking about here. I'm saying that if God has blessed her with anything before you got married, and if both of you are good to go, it really doesn't matter. You can both enjoy the blessings God has brought into your lives, whether these things came through you as the man or came through the woman, So that is what I believe, and I hope I've put a balance to all of these questions.